Alright, 126 turns later in this freaking chapter to jank it over and get all our promotions. We got all our promotions. It's great. Look at them run. Cowards. Hopefully this makes Varric think twice before sicking his soldiers on his own civilians. Too late. I'm sorry, Esme. What? Esme? I'm just gonna say Esme. Esme? You fight bravely. People of Brookstead owe you a great debt. Irving, thank the gods you're safe. What? Forgive me, have we met? Long ago, when you were far too young to remember. Aunt Liberty? What are you doing here? Your father dispatched me as soon as he learned you'd set sail for Etlin. He quickly suspected Varric would try something unconventional, though I'm afraid not quickly enough. What do you mean? Has something happened to Mother? The soldiers already captured her by the time I arrived. I tried to catch up, but I was quickly overwhelmed. It was all I could do to rally a handful of townsfolk and stage a defense. No doubt the town still stands thanks to you. Gods, Mother. Sorry, Irving, but don't lose hope. We'll find her. Esme is a strong woman. That's why your father married her. She'll hold her own until we do. Grandpa, you're alive! Alden, Marin, thank the gods! Oh, at first I was like, wait, who is this? But no, I recognize you. It's just been a good while. Where blazes my son? Father, I'm glad you're alright. What in the abyss are you doing here? The law of you put this entire town in danger with your presence. What's left of it, maybe. And here I thought we just saved it. Perhaps you have. It's good to see you, son. You too, Dad. Brookstead is not safe for any of these folk anymore. Have you a camp nearby? I'd say we have a lot better than a measly camp, but it's quite a ways off, especially for these little legs. It sounds like we best get moving. Varric won't hesitate to strike with a force 3 times this size. Good advice. On my back, dwarf. Lead us home, Irving. And Garrick, put those sharp eyes to use. Be certain we aren't followed. Yes, father. Alright, we made it to chapter 19, The Rising Tide. Save into that slot. Let's do it. Oh, spooky music. You have my condolences, Irving. I can't imagine what this is like for you. But you can't blame yourself. We did everything we could. In fact, I'd say you were successful in rescuing me. I don't know how much longer I could have held out there. At any rate, I won't abandon my mother to her fate. So, what do you suggest? We stroll into Sawyer and knock on the front door of the keep. We need an army. Oh, yeah? Then we get one. Of course. We'll have Corvin draft a poetic letter to Count whatever the hell. We'll raise all the levies of Noid. Gosh darn it. I'm serious. If we want to stand a chance at rescuing Irving's mother, we'll have to go through Varric. That much is clear. Luckily for us, this land is full of strong and capable folk with no love for the king. Citizens across Delhi are already taking up arms against the king. In your name, Irving. Who better to rally them together around a common cause? But where would we go? Naturally. Another infamous prison ripe with agitators pining for their liberation, naturally. Not exactly. Listen, I grew up in High Ridge. People there have a special devotion to Fane, the god of oaths. They celebrate his festival every year. It's at the end of the 3rd week of Duskheart. 3rd week of Duskheart ends in 5 days, which gives us just enough time to get there if we leave now. Suppose we make it in time, then what? The city patrol routes haven't changed in 100 years. If we're careful, I can get you past the guard. Easy. Once we're in, we set Irving up in the town square. Citizens of High Ridge are a proud and freedom-loving people. Appeal to their honor and remind them of the countless oaths their king has broken. They will follow. Follow where? Shall we lead them right back to the why did I start saying caravans? Or perhaps announce our secret location in the town square? Of course not. Simply tell them to follow the dragon's tail south. Many of the prisoners we've already freed have experience in discretion. We can use them as scouts. When they encounter refugees looking to join our efforts, if they seem in earnest, they lead them to Marihold. What makes you think these scouts would be so discreet? They ended up behind bars one way or another.
You got that right.
I'd consider that an advantage. A lesson learned. One more reason not to end up in Delhi in custody again. Dubious at best. I'm more worried about what happens immediately after Irving's speech. I'm sure the garrison will descend upon us like an angry hive. We'll have to bust out of there, but we should all be able to help with that. I'm not sure about this, Irving. I assume the king's got every soldier on double patrols looking for us. We'd have to take every precaution, but what choice do we have? Another opportunity like this might not present itself for a long time. Alexa, if we took refuge during the day and traveled by night, could we still make it in time for the festival? We'd be cutting it close, but I think so. Then we leave tonight, as soon as it's safe. Very well. Just hope you're prepared. Not only if something goes wrong, But if it all goes right, whatever we bring about, we'll have to live with the consequences. I understand, Lincoln. I don't take that lightly. I should hope not. Get some rest, friends. We leave at dusk. Alrighty. Loading. We got the music. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. So, I'm interpreting that this is where I should start spending my gold, huh? On weapon tokens and things. But yeah, let us see here. Let's see. God, there's still 9 more chapters. Yeah, still a decent bit to go here and whatnot. 28 chapters just like Fate, so remember, Chip loves Conquest. This is true. Not the biggest fan of the story of Conquest. What he was telling me was, you know, when it comes to Fates, just hit start with each cutscene and then it's a great story. But that Fates Conquest was his favorite gameplay experience in the series. I'm so sad we didn't get any weapon tokens from that last battle. What the hell? Should we do our supports here? Oh goody, what is this gonna be, huh? Hey Fireballs, how's the whole magic thing going? Hey Faust, better, that's for sure. I'm starting to see a difference on the battlefield. Well, you know who isn't seeing a difference? Your enemies. Because they're dead, so they don't see anything after you kill them, you know, with your spells. No, yeah, I understood that part. Cool. Not my best work. No, definitely not. Hey, listen, I'm meaning to ask. Your sister, is she, obliged? What? You know, is she seeing anyone? Oh, I don't think so. We don't really talk about that stuff a whole lot. Ah, got it. So she's a private woman. I can get behind that. Alright. She got a favorite color? Flower? Spot in her hometown where she likes to unwind? Listen, I really think you should just ask her yourself. Oh yeah, absolutely. What do you think I... Of course. She's probably told you... Wait, she's probably told me all those things anyway. Just don't want her to repeat herself. You'll get it when you're older. I think I get it now. Alright, we got a smart wizard. Get genius, huh? Whatever, man. Listen, keep up the good work. You're doing great. Just pace yourself, yeah? You're starting to make the rest of us look bad. I'll keep that in mind. Good. Honestly, I think we really get each other. We're synced. This is gonna be great. It's already great. Totally, Faust. Well, yeah, let's see here. Wait, Iris, your parents are nobles, right? That's right. What kind of nobles? They got a county? No, a barony called Orson. Why? Just curious. And you're an only child? Yes. So, no brothers or sisters? Where are you going with this? Wait, let me guess. They used to tell you, growing up, that they always wanted a son. No, I never heard them say anything like that. Oh, well, maybe you were out of earshot. That would have been the considerate thing for them to do anyway. I don't think so. So please, enhance my cultural education. How does, say, inheritance work in New Lace? Fast. What? Oh, and by the way, do you think I could pass for a Nulasian? I could try an accent if you like. No. I'd rather you didn't. You're right. I need to work on it first. We'll be in touch. Well, there's those 2 supports. We'll get up to A here. Whoa! Alden. Way past cool. Alden, be careful. Wow. Do you see the size of that spell? I did. You're lucky I wasn't any closer, or I might have felt it too. I wouldn't have cast it if you were any closer. I'd like to believe that. Well, one thing's certain. Your powers have grown dramatically. You couldn't have done anything like that back at the academy, could you? Not on purpose, no. Come on. And what you did at Dervin, blasting the gates open like that, I couldn't believe it. To be honest, neither could I. Well, you'd better believe it. You're making a real difference. Our family survived Varric's attacks on Brookstead thanks in large part to you. I'm so glad Grandpa wasn't hurt. I am too. Hey, Marin, I want to take a second just to say sorry.
It'll be all right.
It's totally fine. You're right. I was being a bit dramatic. I wasn't even that close to your spell. No, not for that. I mean, for that too, but mostly for the way I've acted sometimes. I know I can be a bit snappy when you're just trying to help, but I've thought about it, and you always mean well. I think I just lashed out because I wanted to be independent.
Alden.
Oh, Alden, that's alright. It's good to want to be independent. I know, but I think I wanted more than that. I wanted to prove I could do everything by myself. I don't think that's what it means to be independent anymore. You helped me see that. That's very wise of you. If it makes you feel better, I accept your apology. But don't feel bad, really. You're just growing up. And even though it's a little sad for me, I'm really proud of you. Why would that be sad? I don't know. It just is. I guess it's sad because it reminds me how much time has passed. But there's nothing to do about that. That's life. At least we've been able to pass that time together instead of me waiting around at home wondering what's happened to you. In some ways, I'm really grateful things played out the way they did. That's sweet. I'm glad you feel that way, Alden. Gods really did bless me with a little brother who amazes me every day. You don't have to say that, but thanks. Come here. Your hat's getting crooked again. Maybe I've got a pin around here I can stick in it. Let me see. Man, come on. But yeah, Fuzz lives in his own reality. It definitely does, it seems like. Vesta, we need to talk about our orders from back in Shellabun's. I don't know how it's pronounced, I apologize. I was wondering when you would seek me out. Things look grim, don't they? Take heart, Vesta. I only just showed up. Yes, I suppose if anyone could turn the tide, it would be you. Here's to hoping you can make the difference I believe you can. I don't know that I'm quite the weapon I once was. Too many years spent in dead-end post-brewing beer with villagers who don't know how to read. Was it really so bad? It's been glorious, Vesta. Best time of my life. I'm sure you know that I never wanted any of this. Of course, we all know that. What's the news? Alistair did some digging on her little friend in Cosmere, Atlas. He thinks it's a credible accusation. Well, of course it is. He's been suspected of something or other on and off for years. Yes, but he dug farther than that. If you line up his disappearance with certain events in Delia that directly preceded the start of the war, you think he had Facile killed and framed Aramorans? Alistair suspects. Haven't been as up to date in the politics of it, but even I smelled something off with that. No motive. Precisely. Facile was an excellent king. But whoever that sorcerer was, he clearly had an agenda. Something that the war benefited. Maybe something that required the war. I see. I will keep my mind on it. As will I. Interesting. Arima, I must say I find you rather impressive. You have such delicate control over a great deal of power. I suspect you know something of what it takes to control more power than you feel you deserve. I do. Has it taken you some time to come to terms with your powers? Many years longer than I'd have liked. I didn't truly understand that I needed to until I was exiled from Oasis. Each in our own time, I suppose. Your time was much earlier than mine then, I take it. It was. I've heard tell from Vesta that you spent many years in isolation, down in the Aramorn Wastes. From someone who spent a good deal of years doing the same, simply in a different locale, I'd like to ask you something. I know enough of your past and present to discern that you and I are much alike. It is a rare thing. Ask away, please. I will. What did you occupy yourself with while you were alone in the Wastes? Most ask me about the challenges that I rebuffed. The rest ask me of my time as the Cenari. It is very rare indeed that I am asked of my day-to-day life in the Wastes. You are a curious woman. I spent a good deal of time reading. When I left Oasis, I brought much of my library with me. Of course, I spent much of each day training. I had a strict routine, the shortest day of which took over 4 hours. Between studies and training, I meditated. It took some time, but once I grasped the state of mind, I found it very enlightening. It sounds like a beautiful life. I have never otherwise known its equal. Perhaps one day you will again. Well? Your mother is going to be fine, Irving. She's tougher than she looks. So am I, Aunt Liberty. I won't crumble just because she's gone. We'll get her back.
I'll keep that in mind.
Right. I forget you're not little Irving anymore. It's been too long, truly. You were reporting on us to Alistair, weren't you? When we were kids. Of course I was. He missed you dearly. Timing just doesn't always work out. I know. I'm not bitter about it. He has a lot on his shoulders. It's alright to resent him for it, you know. He may have a lot on his shoulders, but he knew he would. He knew he wouldn't be able to stay. And the alternative is me not standing here alive. I think I'll take an absentee father over not being here. Maybe so. I just don't want you to hold all this in and be brave. We can talk about it if you want. When did you get so maternal? When I felt it was necessary, thank you very much. I may never have wanted kids of my own, but no one was happier than me when I heard Esme was pregnant. Right. It's a little surreal to think you were both members of a secret society. Sort of shatters my illusions of just being a normal kid. We wanted for you to get to just be a normal kid. That's why we kept you in Brookstead, away from Shellabun's. The family commitments sound a lot more glamorous than they play out. Well, it looks like I've turned out to handle family matters either way. Funny how that happens, isn't it? I don't think it's funny at all. I feel sorry that you've been brought into this life. I'd rather it be me than someone else. I can take it. It's not what I'm worried about. Well, Garrick and Irving can get to A now, it seems like. Was it good to see home again, Garrick? I haven't had time to reflect on that, really. Once I realized we'd arrived, too late to stop them from taking Esme. I couldn't think of much else. I know, I couldn't either. I don't claim to know what that must have been like for you. Thinking about it still makes me uneasy. Of course it does. But I was immediately comforted by the knowledge that they wouldn't do anything to hurt her, or they'd risk losing their most valuable bargaining chip. That assumes our enemies think rationally. Sorry, not helpful. That's alright. In spite of everything, you seem glad to see your father. Of course I was. He's a real splinter in the seat most times, but he's still my father. You know, you speak of him a great deal, but not your mother much. There's hardly anything to complain about. It's possible to speak positively of someone without complaining, you know. I happen to agree with you. So much so that I've used that very line before, though I've not had much luck with it. Yeah, I can imagine. Anyway, I've always found it a bit strange that you hardly ever mention her, especially given that you chose her for a mentor.
Joke.
Chose her? Irving, I finished my preliminaries practically last every category. My mother was the only professor who would take me. Is that so? I can't believe I never knew about that. Well, it's not exactly a fact I mentioned in the same breath as introducing myself.
It's not that simple.
We met when we could hardly speak, Garrick. I think it's fair to say we were well introduced when you passed your preliminaries. I was embarrassed then, alright? I didn't want you to know. I'm not sure what for, but you did a sneak's job of hiding it. I never would have guessed. You're one of the finest archers I've ever known.
Hey.
Only one of them? It's never enough with you, is it? And that's how I carry myself. I got that from you.
Not quite.
Always ready to lay the blame. Is that what friends are for? No. Family, maybe. That's fitting then. I don't know what it's like to have a brother, Irving, but I know what it's like to be your friend. It's difficult to imagine having a brother could be any better. You've set the bar quite high. Wow, thank you, Garrick. That might have been the kindest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Really
Well, it's true. And only further proof that you're getting sentimental with age. Yeah, I figure if we die young, I'll be free from your ridicule soon enough. Ridicule, whatever. Remember what I said before, don't you? Yes, if you can help it. I'll never let you live this down. Great, now I'm really looking forward to the rest of our long and miserable lives. Good, I'm not alone then. Never, not if I can help it. Nice. Why have I got allergies to these support conversations? What the heck, these two can get to A? Do you remember when you told me to stay out of trouble?
What now?
Oh no, Sophia, what did you do this time? Nothing. Yeah? What's so funny then? Well, aren't we just about the most wanted criminals in Delia now? From a certain way of looking at things, but if you ask me, that's because the law got on the wrong side of the people, not the other way around. It's still funny to think about. I remember it so well, you telling me to stay out of trouble. Now you've turned right around and joined a revolution.
Not even.
While we're on the subject, I seem to remember someone telling me they get their ferret out of trouble all the time. Someone else in our group has a ferret. No, Sophia, I'm talking about you. Oh, well, yeah, that's true. I've gotten Butter out of all kinds of trouble. It seems to me like Butter gets you out of your own fair share. That's definitely true, and you have too. I know I can be clumsy sometimes, but it just makes me even more thankful to have so many good friends. I know you all have my
How
back.
cute.
Oh, that's actually a pretty wholesome outlook. I used to get pretty embarrassed over myself, but now I figure what's the point? It wasn't helping anybody. Sure, I have to rely on others, but we all do. Isn't that the truth? There's a lot of wisdom in that, Sophia. And freedom, too. The kind that lets me be exactly who I am.
Definitely.
It's a great kind of freedom. Might even be the best kind. I'd say it is. But yeah, be alrighty, Reggie Bump. Alright, let's see here. Hey, I just wanted to check in. All this talk of revolution, facing Varric head on, it can't be easy. No, it isn't. But I didn't become a soldier because I thought it would be easy. If you don't mind my asking, why did you become a soldier? I've never heard you say much about your past.
Indeed.
Yes, well, perhaps for a good reason. In Carmont, when I was still a boy, my parents, both politicians, they sent me to live away from the capital. Greatest gift they ever gave me, really. The family I lived with in the countryside was quite traditional. They practiced the way of oaths. I found it primitive at first, but there was a beauty in its simplicity. Naturally, when I came of age, I took up my own oath. It was just what we did.
Who'da thunk?
And let me guess, you swore if you ever met two Aramoran princesses, you'd contradict everything they had to say. No, not quite. It was a simple oath, really. I swore to do what was right, even when it was hard. Even when it came at a great personal cost or
By
inconvenience.
your grace.
I swore to be more loyal to the truth than whatever else might suit my needs. That's a beautiful oath.
With honor.
And when a herald came from the Delian Officers Academy, I saw a chance to live it out, to set out on a hard road, but for a higher purpose, to give my life for the protection of those who couldn't defend themselves. And now, And now, you fulfill that oath. In every decision I've ever seen you make, you've lived it, through and through. The king we once served can't come close to saying the same. We're the revolutionaries the Delian people need, Lincoln. This is our higher purpose now.
I cannot fail.
At this
my
point,
oath.
I've already bet everything on you being right. Let's hope you are.
Definitely.
I am. Just a feeling you've got. Exactly. Have any other things? Guess not. Poor Benji here, level 11, huh? Man. Chapter 19, The Rising Tide. Big stretch for a hot second. My joint's cracked. I don't know if my mic picked that up. We have 25k gold, so like... I mean, also, hold on. Something I should do real quick is check here. So, power plus 20%. Is there anybody that I might want that to have? If doubling second attack deals 25% increased damage. I didn't want that on... On Caius? What was on him? Enemies are much more likely to attack the holder. Oh, to get me out of a pinch if it's like an emergency, yeah. Does anybody want to have like increased power by 20%? Bonus units within 2 tiles increase damage by 5%. So yeah, that stacks with like your other buffs that you're giving. Yeah, so freaking glass cannon as a sniper works out. Power increased by 15% of each weapon stat. I could just... The font thingamabob, huh? Where is it? Is that at the top? Yeah, there we go. Power plus 20%. Let's go with that. We might not even have enough room for Liberty, but we can see here. I already gave it back during the last chapter. I already gave it back here. Yeah, we can just do that, I guess. I mean, let's see. Oh. I don't know. Whoops. Let's see. Where was Sarathel's site now? Because I'm just thinking, like, if you're freaking baiting out enemies on enemy phase. Alright, so what does Vesta want, huh? Let's see here. Oh, I was buffing up the sledge. But I buffed that all the way up to the Poiple. The accuracy of it really sucks. Do I really want to, like, go around and freaking buff up Mace? Accuracy 0. Yikes. 1 tier 1, 2 tier 2s we can get, I guess. Boop. Boop, boop. So we're at 23.5k now. Whoops, dang, I freaking clicked off the game. Back. And then... yeah, just to take, like, the guaranteed damage on enemy phase if we can. If at all possible. Yeah. Because you're gonna be baiting out Dudos into getting that guaranteed hit, I guess. Get some tier 3 tokens. I mean... I can make sure that everybody has a Poiple. I mean, I don't even know if we can use Liberty. Our freaking character slots might be full. As is, you know. Yeah, if you're tanky, then we can go for like the same kind of thingamabob. So, gosh darn it. Shop. So, weapon tokens. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we'll get a whole bunch of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure. Because my goodness. So yeah, I'll go ahead and give you like a thing. If you're hitting on enemy phase, then there you get some things, I guess. Just in case we do use you, but like we're probably not going to. So what does everyone's stuff look like? There's Cosmic Crash, Dwarven Warbow, Molten Globe. I mean, could get some tier 2 tokens on that as well. But like, Sia is definitely spicy spice. Definitely, definitely. Bianca with the Partisan. Yeah, you got the orange. Kind of main character here, may as well do a thingamabob as well. Crit get up there. Lucky stick, huh? It's worth a shot. Do I want to buy a tier 4 token? So yeah, damage still isn't particularly high there. Crit is up there at least. Yeah, you can just keep on using the thingamabob there. I mean... sure. Oh, the sound is bugging out a little bit. Sure. Devastating Surge +1. Sure. There goes a whole bunch of my gold. There it goes. And it's gone. It's just gone. So yeah, we'll go ahead and save there. Sure. And now we shall... let's advance.